Boom. Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Happy Monday and welcome to this special episode of Kevin at 7. I'm waiting for what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next in the real estate market? It's crazy. Where's my coffee? Hang on. I cannot find my coffee. I completely lost my coffee. Can you believe that? So good morning, my friends. Welcome. Housing prices in a lot of areas are going like this. Why? Because demand is going like this and there's so little supply. And then you have other places where people are leaving and inventory is going like this. So demand is going like this, so prices are starting to go down. And so people look at the micro of what's happening right now, what's happening in the last 30 days, or we get transfixed, so we look at too short of a time frame, or we look at too small of a window of what's happening. We get micro transfixed on, days on market or prices in our market or inventory in a specific town, and we don't understand the bigger picture. We don't look at the bigger picture. Or we get caught up in our own experience. Like when I'm busy and I got lots of business going on, it's like, man, the market's hot, everything's going good, and that's what you focus on because you got business. But then the moment you don't have business, you freak out. So that's what I want to talk about today is what's going to happen next in real estate and how do you deal with this. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's good to see all of you guys. If you have questions, make sure you post them. I'll do a little Q&A here. Good morning, Dino. Good morning, Justin. Good to see all you guys. So this is so critical, guys, that you understand. What's going to happen next in real estate? Well, here's what you need to know. One, there are bigger things happening than your market. Okay, and there are bigger things happening than what's happening right now. In other words, what's happening in your housing market in your town is a reflection of, a reaction of the other things that are happening in the economy. Now, let me go back and just set the thing. What's going to happen next? So there's multiple things at play here. So number one, there is the stock market. The stock market is the fake economy. It is not based on real business, how businesses are doing, the real value of businesses. I mean, in terms of, are they making money? Are they, and stuff like that. And then there is the real economy. The real economy is jobs. Are people making money? Now, over the last 5 months, a little over 5 months, we've had nearly 60 million Americans file first-time unemployment. Okay, and when you think of that, that is a lot of people. It's not the whole population. The whole population of the United States is not the labor force. Okay, the labor force is only a percentage of that. So when you look at that, when you look at 60 million, it's like 58.4 million as of last Thursday. Since the pandemic started, 58.4 million Americans have filed first-time unemployment. That is massive disruption in the United States culture, in our world, right? When that many people have lost their jobs, some of them have gotten their jobs back, some have not, some have gotten their jobs back for lower pay, some have gotten their jobs back and then lost them again, and all of that. But the disruption to people's lives is massive. And then you have the fear of what's going to happen next. You have people get conservative. Okay, so now you're looking at make sure you're not looking at what's happening through blinders like this. And here's our blinders. Number one is what's happening in your specific market and what's happening like right now. There's still no inventory. When a listing goes on the market, there's buyers coming out of the woodworks. Interest rates are low. It's all awesome. Okay. Don't look so narrow because yes, that's awesome for right now, but the longer term picture is what's happening broader. The other thing is be very careful about getting stuck in your own emotional world. And by that, what I mean is when you have business, it's exciting. And when you don't have business, it's terrifying. So a lot of real estate agents are basing how their view of the market based on how their personal business is doing. And if you got business, it's great. If you don't have business, it's terrible. And then we tend to focus on that and we tend to follow our emotions. So here's what you have to do. There's two things. One is you have to pay attention to what's happening in the world. Okay, what's happening in the real economy, and have a longer term view. So what's happening right now is only a microscopic snapshot of what's happening right now. But there are things happening, and so besides the economy, there's also there's politics. There's the election. You've got two very different visions for which direction the country is going to go. And it's insanely polarizing. That in and of itself, no matter who gets elected, no matter how this thing goes with politics, Washington cannot save you. Washington is not going to save us. Okay, if you're expecting Washington to be the answer, I think most people will agree Washington is many times more the problem than it is the answer. And so you just have to know, though, that is going to have an impact on what happens. And it'll have an impact on the stock market. With the stock market, if it goes down, then people get really scared, even though it going up is not a sign that everything's going good. Okay, so there's the bigger picture of the economy. There's also the bigger picture of your business and what you're doing. That when you don't have business, when you don't have enough business, you got to stay focused. You got to keep working. And you can't allow the emotional moments to determine how you're spending your day. What should I be doing every single day? We got Agent Mastery Live coming up in 1 week. It starts a week from tomorrow. Tickets, tickets close on Friday, ticket sales, because you'll have some pre-event work to do to prepare. So this is your last week to get tickets. But what we're going to be laying out for those 3 days is the big picture. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but a little bit of big picture of what's happening. But most importantly, is what to do about it. And so preparing yourself, and tactically what to start doing now. In fact, you're going to start doing it at the event. Okay, it is going to be like I'm going to be working directly with you on specific actions to take in those 3 days to generate business. It'll be unlike stuff. This is not like get on the phone and start calling people. Okay, we're not going to be just jumping on the phone. There's not going to be any cold calling and that kind of crap. We're talking about the things that are working right now, and also that are going to position you to get more business, and more business as the economy turns, as the housing market turns, and it is going to turn. Now, again, be patient and understand. When I say be patient, understand that things don't happen like that until they happen like that. But the key is not to go like, okay, it's great. Oh no, what happened? That's what I want you to be prepared for. So when it does happen, you go like, I knew that was coming. Because it's way better and it's way more powerful to attack an enemy that you knew was coming than to get surprised and blindsided by it. Okay, I got a question here from Susan Johns. Can you talk about tax sales overage? Do you provide training on that? I do not. So Susan, I don't provide that. That is primarily real estate investing strategies, and that's not where I do the training. Mike Wolf is one of my best friends. Mike Wolf is a great person to talk to for tax sale overages. Okay, so go to MikeWolfMastery.com and find him if you are looking for tax sale overages. Okay, so that's something I do not train on. I'm a new agent, and an agent in my office is inviting me to be his showing agent and show his buyers houses. I think that is going to take time away from prospecting. Of course, it's going to take time away from prospecting. Any advice? Wait a second, I lost the question. I'll make sure I got the whole question. Hey, Solomon. Yes, Lauren is correct. Don't let them take advantage of you. Now look, every great agent needs somebody to help them show buyers, okay? But you want to be that agent, not work for that agent. If your goal is to make money in real estate, and this is what we're going to be training you at Agent Mastery Live, is how to make money, not how to make somebody else money. And I don't mean that there's anything wrong with that, but the difference is, do you want to be the business owner or do you want to be the employee? So think of that agent that's wanting you to show buyers for him. He's the owner of McDonald's and you're the one that's going to be flipping hamburgers. Okay, who makes the money? Who makes the money? Now, I'll give you even a higher level example. Think of and it's really not even true, but let's understand who makes the money. Understand where is the success. The success is in the one who owns the business. This is what I'm telling you guys. This is what I'm going to be training you at Agent Mastery Live. Is there is a difference between selling houses and owning a business. I teach you how to build a real estate business that will make you a fortune, a ton of money, and it'll work for you 24/7. Okay? So here's the key. You want to own the business, not just chase business, not just sell houses, not just show houses. Okay? Hang on, Ken. I'll come back to that question about short sales. So think of a professional athlete. Do most people believe that professional athletes are overpaid? Now, right now, professional athletes have become political pawns. That's a very interesting conversation, but that's not what I'm talking about. Are professional athletes overpaid? I mean, they get paid millions. Was it Patrick Mahomes that got the biggest contract, like tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, like crazy in the NFL? And you look at that and you're like, how in the world can a guy who plays a game, plays a sport, get paid so much? That's the wrong question. See, the real question is, how can the guy who writes that kind of a paycheck make so much money? See, every one of these players that gets paid tens of millions of dollars, who's rich? The one getting paid tens of millions of dollars or the one writing the check to pay that athlete? You see, who would you rather be, the player? Or would you rather be the team owner who writes those checks? You got to understand, to the person who writes those checks, writes the check to Patrick Mahomes, who pays the money to the athlete, that's pocket change, my friends. The real money is the guy who owns the team. Those are the billionaires. You guys understand what I'm saying? So I want you to have this perspective that I am not out here just thinking, where's the next paycheck? Where's the next paycheck? Where's the next paycheck? I'm talking about building real estate empires, about making the kind of money that allow you to have a life. That's what I'm talking about. And that will never happen when you go show buyers for somebody else. Okay? Now, if you just need a paycheck and you want a job, go do that and so forth. Dave Culbertson, Agent Mastery Live is going to be awesome. I booked a beachside Airbnb in North Carolina so I can be away from the office and give it full attention. This is a great way to do that, Dave, is actually get away for 3 days so you can be 100% present. I'm really proud of you for that. Cutting the check. Okay, let's see. Interesting subject, but what happens next? Here's what happens next. You prepare. You prepare by building relationships. You prepare by positioning yourself with the people that you know and getting out there and continuing to do your business. Okay? Now, what's going to happen next is whenever the market turns and it goes down, what's going to happen next? The market's going to go down. When's it going to go next? Long time. Don't think it's going to happen this week. It's probably not going to happen until after the election, because President Trump, one of the big factors of his reelection is the economy has got to stay strong. So they're going to do everything they can to keep stimulating the economy, at least through the election. After the election, all bets are off. Okay? But you've also got all this forbearance that has been going on, and people that are not paying their rent, people that are not paying the moratorium on evictions has been extended now through the end of the year. Forbearance is still going to be going through the spring. After all of that happens, things are going to start to unwind. Now, you see things already unwinding in areas where the masses are leaving, like you see that in New York City. You see that in San Francisco. They're seeing that in downtown Los Angeles. Some of the big cities, people are leaving the cities and heading for the suburbs. But in the suburbs, it's popping, hopping. Everything's awesome. But you also got tons of people in the suburbs who are not paying their mortgage. That will not go on forever. And when that comes due and they start having to make payments again, a lot of them can't make those payments. They're going to be selling. And all of a sudden, you're going to have supply, and demand is not going to increase. Demand has increased right now as people leave the cities and go to the suburbs. But that is going to change. So this is what's going to happen next. The other thing that's going to happen next is agents are going to freak out. And this is the biggest thing. Agents are going to freak out. You can't be one of those agents. When the market starts to turn, when there is blood in the streets, that's when people panic. Right now, when everybody's feeling good, it's easy to feel good. I'm wanting to prepare you for when things aren't feeling good. When sellers are freaking out, when buyers are disappearing, okay, when the stock market does start to go down and possibly plummet, you got to feel good then and go like, all right, this is what we were waiting for. Now we go to work. And here's what we do, okay? So that's what you have to be prepared for. You got to be, and so your mindset with knowledge, with understanding of we've been here before, and this is the time that people get rich. But while the few get rich, the masses don't, and it's not because it's not fair, it's because the masses aren't prepared. They're unprepared. Okay, you must be prepared. You got to be prepared mentally. You got to be prepared financially. You got to be prepared strategically so that you know where to find the listings, where to find the business, how to get sellers to price them right so they will actually sell, because there's always going to be buyers. But there's going to be more houses than there are buyers, so it's going to become a buyer's market. And when that happens, you got to be better than you have to be when prices are going up, because the biggest challenge with sellers is getting them to price a house right? Well, when prices are going up, you got margin for error. But when prices are going down, you have no margin for error because you let the seller press it too high and it doesn't sell. And then as it sits, the longer it sits, the more frustrated the seller gets, the less they trust you, the lower the value becomes, the more money they lose, and it's your fault, and they're gonna blame you on the front end, they're gonna blame you on the back end, and so are you. You're gonna blame yourself. And then you're gonna hate working with sellers, and you're gonna think real estate sucks, and then you're gonna get out of business. This is what happened before, this is what's gonna happen again. Now I'm gonna answer Ken's question. So Ken says, what about, do I have to go to the mastery class or is it online? LaTanya, I don't do a mastery class per se. I have a live virtual event coming next week, September 8th, 9th, and 10th, agentmasterylive.com. It's live, and that's how you get it, is live. And the reason is because it's not just me talking. It's you interacting with me. We'll be in a room, and it will be like you're in the room with me, okay? And you're gonna be doing stuff through the event. You're gonna be actually implementing. So why? Because that's the way you succeed. You don't succeed by just sitting and going like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, and writing notes. You're gonna write a lot of notes, but you're gonna also take a lot of actions. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen. Okay, so back to Ken's question. What about short sales? I think it was Ken. Somebody asked about what about short sales? All right, so here's the deal about short sales. Don't do short sales, okay? Just don't worry about short sales right now. The day may come where short sales matter, where short sales become a part of the game. There's gonna be short sales, but there's gonna be more distressed sales where there's equity, okay? Because people, since 2008, lending restrictions got a lot more strict, and so most people that have bought houses have been putting 20% down. They've been putting down payments, and we've been having good appreciation. And so it's not just, unless FHA or VA, some of those, there are gonna be some short sales there, but short sales are the toughest ones to deal with. And so it's not like 2008. In 2008, we had 3 or 4 years where almost everybody was getting no interest, no money down loans. They were rolling closing costs into the loan. They were buying houses with negative equity. I mean, they were just going in like crazy. And that was happening with millions and millions and millions of buyers. And so what was collapsing was all those mortgages, especially the adjustable rate ones, as they adjusted up and people couldn't afford them. And now they were stuck because home prices were supposed to keep going up forever and they weren't going up, so people were upside down. And so all the distressed sellers that you had back in 2008, 2009, 2010, all of them had no equity. They had zero equity or negative equity. They were upside down in their houses. And then as prices started to go down, even more people got upside down. Okay, so short sales became the majority of homes at different periods of times. The majority of homes were short sales, okay? That did not happen this time. It's not gonna happen this time. So most people that have bought homes over the last 10 years have equity, and they have continued to have equity. Okay, now there's gonna be short sales, but they're gonna be a smaller sliver of the pie, a much smaller sliver, and they're the hardest ones to do. So why would you focus on the hardest ones? Focus on the distressed sellers who have equity, because that's going to be the vast majority. They'll have equity, and if you help them fast, they'll have more equity, and so you can help them save their equity. Now, the difference is people that are distressed and have equity, they're motivated to get something done because they want to save their equity. They want that money. But people that are in short sale situations, they got nothing to gain. They got nothing to gain. They're only trying to avoid more bleeding by losing credit, because they got nothing to gain by cooperating a short sale. They're not making money on it. They sell the house, they're still broke, and then they're going to go out. They can't buy another house, so they're going to be tough to work with. So that is the worst group to work with, are short sale people. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm just saying don't focus on it. Okay, you're going to meet people that are in short sale situations. Help them and get a good short sale specialist to help. Once you get their house under contract, get a short sale specialist to help make that happen. Okay, so you can then go on and help more people. All right, hope that helps, makes sense. All right, so guys, yes, markets are hot right now. That's the whole point, is markets are hot. Just wait. Patience, my friends. Patience. Don't just look at what's happening today. Look down the road. It is going to be so great for agents who are prepared. For agents who are not, it is going to be horrible. But for agents who are prepared tactically, strategically, and mentally and financially, who are prepared, it is going to be like the best time ever to be in real estate. And for those that are not prepared, it is going to be a nightmare, because it's for our economy, and unfortunately for much of our country, it is already a nightmare, and it's going to continue to do that. Okay, so and have good communication with asset managers for short sales. Yeah, but you don't deal with if you're talking about the banks themselves, like the loss mitigators, you don't want to be dealing with them. You let a short sale specialist deal with those. If you're going to be doing short sales, you get the listing, you get it under contract, and then you give it to a short sale specialist. And there's going to be some of them out there. You're going to find them. Because if you start doing that, guys, you're limited. You're limited in the number of deals you can do, and you're going to be working for months and months to get one deal to close. And you will pull your hair out. I'm telling you, in case for those of you that were not around back then, I've done dozens of short sales and hated every one. The last few I did, I had somebody else doing all the short sale for me, doing the short sale negotiating, a short sale specialist, a realtor that did that, and I paid her 1%, and she was awesome, and it was great, great, great. Okay, guys, so if you want to know exactly what to do and all the best training, come join me at Agent Mastery Live. It's like going to be insane. We're going to have 7 top agent speakers that are killing it right now. And you're going to be learning exactly what they are doing that's helping them add 6 figures. And all of them have added they're increasing their income by 6 figures. And you're going to see what they're doing right now that's making them money, and how they're preparing for what is coming. It is amazing what you're going to learn from them. So thanks for joining me today, guys. Play to win. Always expect yes. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the trail. Go to agentmasterylive.com and get your ticket. We'll see you soon.